Okay, so picture this Atlanta, buzzing with heat, ambition, and second chances. The city where dreams are reborn and scars are hidden behind designer shades. Now imagine Melody Shari driving down Peachtree Street, music low, face calm but eyes fierce. She's not the same woman Huntsville once knew. She's sharper, wiser, and done playing the role of the victim. But here's the twist: freedom comes with a price. And for Melody, that price has been peace. Because while she was busy rebuilding her empire, Martell was plotting his comeback. And this time, it wasn't just about love or control, it was about pride. The war for independence had officially begun, and both sides were ready to fight until the very end. Atlanta was supposed to be Melody's safe haven, a clean slate for her and the kids. A new chapter where she could finally breathe without feeling watched or judged. But in reality, peace was harder to find than she expected. Every victory she achieved seemed to trigger something deep inside Martell. Every time she smiled in a photo or announced a new project, he felt it like a bruise to his ego. And when the cameras started rolling again for Love and Marriage, Huntsville, things got even messier. The storyline that once revolved around family and business now became a battlefield of betrayal and resentment. Melody's glow-up became Martell's greatest insecurity. Let's rewind a little. Before Atlanta, before the fame, before the chaos, there was a young couple with dreams. Melody and Martell Holt were once the power duo of Huntsville. They built businesses, homes, and a picture-perfect family. But behind the Instagram smiles were cracks that ran deep. Martell's affair wasn't just a one-time mistake, it was a long, drawn-out betrayal that shattered everything Melody believed in. She gave him chances, she prayed for change, but eventually, she realized love couldn't heal disrespect. When the truth finally came out, it wasn't just the end of their marriage, it was the end of who Melody used to be. Reality TV only made things worse. Cameras captured their pain, fans picked sides, and the internet turned their heartbreak into entertainment. Melody tried to keep it classy, but every reunion, every confession, every argument on camera brought the pain back to life. By the time she packed her bags and moved to Atlanta, it wasn't about running away, it was about survival. Atlanta offered her something Huntsville never could: freedom. She started her beauty brand, reconnected with her music, and surrounded herself with women who understood her grind. Her confidence came back piece by piece. But as Melody's light began to shine again, Martell couldn't handle being in the shadows. His business ventures were struggling, his public image was bruised, and his relationships, especially with the other cast members, were crumbling. Everywhere he turned, people whispered about how Melody was doing better without him. And that, more than anything, broke his pride. The breaking point came when Melody started making appearances in Atlanta's high-profile circles, industry events, charity galas, and empowerment panels. Word spread fast that she was connecting with producers for her own spin-off project, something independent from Love and Marriage, Huntsville. That news hit Martell like a thunderbolt. To him, it wasn't just business, it was betrayal. He felt she was leaving him behind again, building something that didn't include him. And once Martell feels cornered, the pressure makes him snap. What nobody expected was how public it would all become. At a charity event in Buckhead, witnesses say Martell showed up uninvited. Melody was there, radiant in a gold dress, speaking about women reclaiming their lives after emotional abuse. Her words were powerful, too powerful for Martell to stomach. As cameras flashed, he confronted her, questioning her version of the truth. People froze. Melody, calm as ever, simply said, "The truth doesn't need defending." But that moment went viral within hours. Blogs twisted the story, headlines screamed Martell confronts Melody at Atlanta event, and just like that, their private war became public again. Behind the scenes, things got even uglier. Martell started giving interviews hinting that Melody was playing victim for sympathy. He posted cryptic messages online about loyalty, love, and betrayal. Fans noticed his tone shift from remorseful to aggressive. Melody, instead of clapping back, stayed silent, but her silence spoke volumes. She started using her platform to talk about emotional recovery, single motherhood, and protecting your peace at all costs. Women from all over related to her story. Her fan base exploded. But Martell's frustration grew. He wanted to be heard, to be seen as more than the villain. Only problem? Every move he made kept proving Melody right. Then came the custody issue again. Word leaked that Martell wanted the kids back in Huntsville, claiming Atlanta wasn't stable for them. Melody was blindsided. She had done everything right: new home, steady career, structure for the kids, but Martell saw it as a challenge. He wasn't fighting for the children's well-being, he was fighting to regain control. In one episode of the show, he accused her of keeping the kids away, and you could see the pain flash across her face. She replied softly, "You don't lose what you cherish, Martell. You lose what you don't protect." That moment became one of the most talked about scenes in Love and Marriage, Huntsville history. Fans took to social media, calling Martell out for his constant pattern of blaming Melody for his mistakes. Even the other cast members began to distance themselves from him. What used to be a tight-knit crew started dividing Team Melody and Team Martell. The tension wasn't just on screen anymore. It was real, raw, and bleeding into their personal lives. Melody's independence started to look like rebellion in Martell's eyes. He couldn't comprehend that she didn't want to go back, that she didn't need him anymore. Meanwhile, Melody was building an empire. She had new business deals lined up, was featured in multiple magazines, and had a growing community of women supporting her. Her message was clear: healing is not weakness, it's power. But as she climbed higher, Martell's actions got more unpredictable. Friends close to Melody revealed that she became more guarded than ever. She stopped attending public events alone. Her circle grew smaller. The same woman who once believed in partnership was now moving with quiet strength. She started saying things like, "Peace costs too much to be shared with everyone." It was her way of setting boundaries. Then came a major turning point. During a family segment filmed in Atlanta, Martell tried to apologize again, claiming he wanted to make peace for the kids. But Melody didn't flinch. "Peace doesn't come from empty words," she told him. "It comes from changed behavior." The audience felt that line in their bones. Because it wasn't just about Martell, it was about every woman who's ever had to choose herself after being broken down. From that moment on, the power dynamic shifted. Martell's temper flared during production, leading to multiple heated arguments that producers allegedly had to cut out. Sources whispered that he felt set up to look bad. But the truth was, Melody wasn't doing anything, she was simply living. And her peace was louder than his chaos. Behind the cameras, Melody was finding her rhythm again. She started mentoring young mothers, speaking at empowerment events, and writing new music that reflected her journey. The lyrics weren't bitter, they were freeing. She once said, "I don't sing about revenge. I sing about rebirth." That line became a movement. Women shared her words across social media, tagging her in posts about their own healing stories. Meanwhile, Martell's public image continued to crumble. His attempts to control the narrative only made things worse. In interviews, he came off defensive and bitter. Fans who once sympathized with him began to lose patience. It wasn't just about Melody anymore, it was about accountability. And Martell was running out of excuses. One night, during a reunion special, things reached their emotional peak. Melody sat across from Martell, the tension thick enough to cut. Host Carlos King asked the question everyone was thinking: "Do you still love each other?" Melody paused. The silence in the room was deafening. Then she said, "Love isn't enough when peace is missing." Martell's eyes dropped. He didn't speak. And that's when it hit everyone watching: this wasn't about drama anymore. This was about liberation. After the reunion, Melody walked off set and didn't look back. She drove home, her kids asleep in the back seat, and smiled for the first time in a long while. Not because everything was perfect, but because she finally felt free. In the months that followed, Melody's independence became her brand. She launched a foundation for women rebuilding after divorce, sponsored mentorship programs, and continued expanding her businesses. Her face appeared on billboards with the tagline "Peace over Pain." Every move she made screamed self-worth. Martell, on the other hand, went quiet. Sources say he entered therapy, realizing how much his pride had cost him. He started focusing on co-parenting, showing up differently for his kids. And while it wasn't redemption overnight, it was a start. The war for independence wasn't about one side winning, it was about learning. Melody learned that freedom isn't just walking away, it's staying gone. It's rebuilding yourself in the face of chaos. It's choosing peace, even when your past tries to drag you back into the storm. Now, when people see her walking through Atlanta head high, smile soft, kids by her side, they see more than a reality star. They see a survivor. A woman who took her pain and turned it into purpose. Her story is a reminder that sometimes, the loudest victory isn't revenge, it's peace. And for Melody Shari, peace was the only thing worth fighting for. Because when the war ended, and the cameras stopped rolling, the world saw what she had become: stronger, freer, and unshakably whole. That's the true legacy of Melody's independence. Not just surviving Martell's storm, but learning how to dance in the rain, and still build a life filled with light.